I used to think that to be successful, I had to outwork everyone. I was the first one in the office and the last one to leave, wearing busy like a badge of honor. My to do list was a mile long, and I honestly believed this was the only way to get ahead. But the truth is, I wasn't getting more successful. I was just getting closer and closer to burning out. My to do list never got any shorter, and I was always haunted by the feeling of being completely overwhelmed. It was like running a marathon every single day, only to wake up at the exact same starting line. Everything changed when I finally had a moment of clarity, a painful but necessary realization that my entire approach was broken. I discovered three principles that helped me achieve more by actually doing less. It sounds counterintuitive, I know, but this simple framework didn't just transform my productivity, it gave me my life back. And in this video, I'm going to share that exact framework with you. My turning point wasn't some big, dramatic event. It was more of a slow, creeping realization that the machine was breaking down. I'll never forget this one particular Tuesday. I'd been at my desk for 10 hours straight, fueled by caffeine and the sheer pressure of sales goals. I couldn't focus. I felt a deep, bone aching exhaustion that no amount of coffee could fix. My body was at my desk, but my mind was a million miles away. That night, I went home and couldn't sleep. I just kept replaying these endless loop of tasks and emails in my head. For the first time, I asked myself a terrifying question. If I keep this up, where will I be in a year or five? The answer wasn't pretty. It was a future filled with more stress, more exhaustion, and a life completely empty of joy or any real sense of accomplishment. I was busy, but was I productive? It reminded me of those studies on performative work where employees spend a huge chunk of their time just appearing busy instead of doing things that mattered. I had become a statistic in my own life, a master of being busy but accomplishing little, and it was leading me toward a complete physical and mental collapse. That was the moment I knew I had to find a different way. The hustle had to stop. The very first principle I adopted felt completely radical at the time. It went against every fiber of my workaholic being. The principle is this: plan recovery first. For years, I treated rest as an afterthought. It was whatever time was left over after every single work task was done, which, as you can imagine, meant it almost never happened. I saw downtime as a reward you had to earn, not as a basic requirement for doing good work. But the science is clear. Our brains need regular periods of rest to function at their best. Consistent time off doesn't just prevent burnout, it makes you more productive and motivated when you are working. So I flipped the script. I opened my calendar, and before I scheduled a single meeting, I scheduled my recovery. I blocked out time for non negotiable personal activities. This meant things like a dedicated hour for lunch away from my desk every day. On weekends, I scheduled time with friends, and if possible, even tried something I called do nothing time, where the only goal was to relax without an agenda. At first, it felt selfish, even lazy. My brain screamed, "You don't have time for this." But I forced myself to treat these recovery blocks with the same importance as being at my desk. The change was almost immediate, and honestly, pretty shocking. By prioritizing rest, I wasn't just less tired, I was more focused and creative during my work hours. I was forced to be more efficient. I procrastinated less, I became ruthless about what was truly important versus what was just busy work. Studies have shown that when people have predictable and consistent time off, their overall productivity increases because they feel more mentally rested. This isn't about being lazy, it's about being strategic. It's recognizing that the rest is not the enemy of productivity, it's an essential part of the engine that drives it. My second principle was the antidote to that constant feeling of being busy but not actually getting anything done. I call it focus with intention. Before, my workday was a chaotic mess of reactivity. I'd jump on every email notification, get pulled into low priority tasks, and spend hours in meetings with no clear agenda. I was mistaking activity for achievement. The problem is, our brains just aren't built for that kind of constant context switching. Every time you get distracted, it takes a surprising amount of mental energy to get back to what you were originally doing. Intentional work is about proactively deciding what matters and then creating an environment that lets you focus on it. I started by implementing two main strategies. First, I defined my most important tasks for the day. Each morning, before I even opened my email, I'd identify the 1 to 3 things that would make the day a success. If I got them done, these were almost always tasks that required deep, focused work, not replying to emails or attending random updates. And there's a reason this works. We know from goal setting research that having clear, achievable goals is a powerful motivator. Second, I started time blocking to protect my focus. I block out time for deep work in my calendar just for my most important tasks. And during those blocks, I closed my email, put my phone down, and shut my office door. This allowed me to get into a state of flow, that incredible zone where you feel so fully immersed in a task that the outside world just fades away. That's where the real high quality work happens. The key here is to separate being busy from being productive. Answering 50 emails might make you feel busy, but it's not the same as doing something that actually moves the needle. By focusing with intention, I stopped letting my day be dictated by other people's agendas. I took back control and started pointing my energy toward things that had a real impact. My output didn't just increase, the quality of my work improved dramatically, all because I stopped splitting my attention into a million tiny, unproductive pieces. If this video has been helpful so far, take a second to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and tells YouTube this kind of message matters. And if you want to take this even further, I've created a free focus reset guide you can download using the link in the description. It's a one-page resource designed to help you refocus, reset, build momentum when life feels scattered. And when you grab it, you'll also get access to our free Built from Balance newsletter, where I share practical tools and mindset strategies to help you stay consistent. Again, it's totally free, and you can grab it below before we jump into the final principle. The third and final principle is the glue that holds this whole system together. It's what makes you stay on track, adapt, and keep improving. This is the practice of the weekly review. If you're just blindly following your calendar day after day, it's so easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You can get so caught up in the daily grind that you don't even realize you're drifting away from your long-term goals. The weekly review is your personal board meeting with yourself, a dedicated time to pause, reflect, and plan. During this time, I do 3 things. First, I reflect on the past week. I look back at my calendar and my completed task list. I ask myself, what went well? Where did I get stuck? Did I spend my time on what really mattered, or did I get pulled into distractions? The goal here isn't to judge myself. It's just about gathering data. It helps clear out the mental clutter and gives me clarity on where my time and energy actually went. Second, I celebrate the wins. This is the step we always want to skip, but it's so important. I make a point to acknowledge my accomplishments, no matter how small. Did I finish that tough project? Did I stick to my recovery schedule? Celebrating wins builds momentum and reinforces positive habits, makes you feel more confident and motivated for the week ahead. And third, I plan the upcoming week. Based on my reflections and my bigger goals, I map out my priorities for the next week. I schedule my recovery blocks first, of course. Then I identify my most important tasks for each day and block out the deep work time to get them done. This process means I start Monday morning with a clear plan and a sense of purpose, not a wave of overwhelm. Seriously, making this weekly review a habit is a total game changer. It provides accountability, helps you course correct when you get sidetracked, and ensures that your daily actions are lining up with your long-term vision. It's the simple, powerful habit of checking the map to make sure you're still headed in the right direction. So there you have it, the 3 principles that took me from the edge of burnout to a place of balanced productivity. Plan recovery first, focus with intention, and review weekly. It's a simple framework, but its impact on my life has been profound. I'm no longer trapped in that hustle culture mindset that glorifies exhaustion. I produce higher quality work in less time. I have more energy, and most importantly, I actually enjoy my life again. It's not just a feeling, the data backs this up. Studies consistently find that workers with a healthy balance are not just happier, they are more productive. This journey taught me that success isn't about how many hours you can endure. It's about the energy and focus you bring to the hours you choose to work. It's about working intentionally. I truly believe that balance isn't a myth. It's a strategy, and it's a strategy that can unlock a level of productivity and well-being you might not think is possible. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on productivity and living a balanced life. And I have a question for you. Which of these three principles do you struggle with the most? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.